here to talk about our new chemistry ELN that we're developing. And I hope you appreciate my little sense of humor about the one-to-one stoichiometry, because we really couldn't do this without ChemAxon. We really see them as a strategic partner. So what are we developing? Well, effectively, E-WorkBook Chemistry is really designed from the ground up to really provide a fully functioned platform, not only for discovery chemistry, development chemistry, but also looking at the markets of polymers and formulations as well. And part of that is also to work together with numerous different kinds of integrations. And one of the, well, I suppose two of the main key efforts we're working towards is migrating chemistry from our desktop client to our web client. So it's not just chemistry, it's really all of our product stack is going to the web because the web is cool. The web provides nice, accessible interfaces, easy to host, easy to deploy. So that's something we've been working on. It's taken us probably about 2.5 years to kind of move all of our desktop functionality to the web. And the other feature we're also looking at is the E-WorkBook Connect. And this is a cloud-based system for people who want to work in a collaborative manner. And that's pretty common nowadays because most pharma companies will probably have in excess of 100 CRO partners that they need to work with. So it'd be nice if we could exchange the information directly with the CRO, have experiments captured in Connect, and then bring them back directly into the ELN. People do associate IDBS with biology, but actually, yes, we do chemistry. So this was a report from Gartner in 2013, and they actually ranked our chemistry as high. That's really because we had built our own chemistry technology platform. We had our own rendering. We integrated with other tools, some of which were ChemAxons and other partners as well. And yeah, as I say, they gave us a ranking of high. And this is what our desktop product actually looked like. So you can see here we had our own chemistry. We had the Quantrix spreadsheet technology, which we made chemically aware. But obviously, being a desktop product, you can see, obviously, there's a nice row of icons along the top, and obviously we wanted to change that, make that different going forward to the web. So the desktop product was actually used in quite a variety of different areas, and it's interesting because if you look at the chemical marketplace, it's broad. You have everything from oil and gas and petrochemicals and industrials, and then the fine chemicals and fast-moving consumer goods. It's very diverse. Everybody's got a very different ethos and idea of exactly what they want to use the product for. So we have customers sitting in these market segments, and obviously when we're taking it forward, we need to consider what functionality we're going to migrate and how, and when are we going to introduce it into the product. And concurrently with this ethos of moving from the desktop to the web, there's all these new trends. So people want SaaS, people want outsourcing, people want cloud, and people are also pretty impatient. They want information now, they want it easily accessible. So when we came to thinking about our chemistry technology and the desktop products, we were sort of faced with a decision. Do we take what we have and redevelop it and spend more time and effort doing it ourselves, or do we go ahead and actually look at doing a build-or-buy partnership? And really what we needed to do is to get something in the platform that would be obviously a really high-value item to provide the best solutions and to get us to the product, to the market quickly. And this is where ChemAxon steps in. So we had actually used some of ChemAxon's tools within the desktop product from the perspective of the reactor plugin for parallel synthesis and enumeration, some of the property and prediction tools. We obviously had been talking to ChemAxon. ChemAxon, I think, are synonymous now as being one of the world leaders with cheminformatics platforms, and really, you guys provide excellent service and technologies. So we started in late December, and this was the first proof of concept that we put together. And this came out in our version 10 of our E-WorkBook product. And this is where we implemented Marvin.js just simply within one frame in E-WorkBook. And this allowed users to draw molecules, draw reactions, be able to save them to JChem, and be able to search them and retrieve hits. That will suffice for some customers and products. So, for example, people may be doing polymers or formulations, or maybe somebody doing a biological assay where they just needed to represent one structure in an experiment. But obviously, there's a huge class of discovery and development chemists, and they would need something different. The other thing as well is the fact that the IDBS chemistry technology, although it was excellent for discovery chemistry, small molecule, we now realize that obviously people are working with a lot more comprehensive molecules, things that we didn't necessarily consider or weren't necessarily around in the marketplace like 10 years ago. So you think, there's Marcouche, there's really, comprehensive organometallics, and as Roland mentioned in his talk yesterday, there's obviously, the new Helm format for biologicals, and also things like antibody-drug conjugates, where you have the combination of biology and chemistry. Some of the other proof of concepts we did as well was really to look at the, ChemAxon registration system. So how simple and easy would it be able to actually do to work with it? And what we actually did was we took our developer a day and a half, thanks to some very feature-rich APIs and amazing documentation. We just picked it up. You can see here we implemented just a little register button. And as I say, within a day and a half, we had a working proof of concept. So that was good. As I say, the ChemAxon technology that we used in the desktop product, we had the reactor, we had the nomenclature and some property predictions, and we have Marvin.js and JChem in the web, and we're busy working on the integration to the registration system at the moment. And ChemAxon, again, have been awesome because we've gone out to them and asked for further assistance. And one of the things I will show you later on is the ability to sort of synchronize between components in the stoichiometry table and the reaction scheme. So chemistry in the web. Certainly in December, I found myself sitting in this landscape, looking at this open plain and imagining the city on the horizon. And pretty much every week now, we are constructing a new building. So, as I say, in the next certainly in the next month, when the product releases, we will have a small town. In September and December, and going forward into next year, we will have a city. And we're not really approaching this green because we basically looking at our desktop product and leveraging some of the technology that we already have, and all of our customers that we work with as well. So with the design of the product, it really gave us a fantastic opportunity to start fresh, and makes us think about what do we actually think about when we're thinking product design. And there's one word: ergonomics. Trying to make it as simple and as easy to use as possible. I really don't want to be designing a product that requires somebody to go on a 3-day training course to use. It's got to be really simple, intuitive, and if you work as a discovery chemist, you should be able to just pick it up and use it straight away. And how we do that effectively is just simply to focus on the user. What does the user want? What do they want to do? How do they want to do it? And how can they do it as simply with as few mouse clicks as possible? So I think as well, pretty much everybody nowadays, we all have smartphones, we all have technologies, and I think the smartphone has actually revolutionized the marketplace because we all have smartphones, we have applications on those phones. Do those applications come with training manuals? No. They're designed in a way to be very simple, intuitive, and easy to use. So that's a good design approach to take. And I think concurrently with this as well, there's a huge wave of new people, new scientists in education at the moment who are going to be coming into the marketplace in the next couple of years, and they're all on Twitter and Facebook and social media, and they all use these applications. Their perceptions of what software is and how it's delivered, I think, will be different. And it raises an interesting question because you think, well, ease of use versus features. Do I really need a software that has 1,000 features, or do I just need to use the ones that I actually really need to do to get my job done? So in this, we actually are not developing this product in isolation. So our team basically run a chemistry forum event in Boston and in Munich every 3 months. So ChemAxon attend these as well. And effectively what we do is we get a group of people in the room and we sit down and we talk chemistry. And we show them prototypes, we show them design ideas and workflows and say, how would a user do this? What would you expect the user interface and that to look like? And we've got some amazing feedback from this. And I think it's also quite empowering because we can then work together with customers to be able to design the next generation chemistry ELN that's actually going to meet their needs directly up front. So I think user adoption is key. if you think about it from a change management perspective, it's quite a headache to be able to deploy an ELN successfully, and we need to make sure that user adoption is integrated into that process all the way through. So making life easier for IT, let's get it on a web client. It's OS agnostic, people can run it on different devices, and it's a lot simpler and easier to upgrade. And then we also have the new user interface design, keeping it clean and simple and intuitive workflows. But in the background, we need to think about integrations, performance, and scalability. It's no use providing something if it's going to be slow, so we need to make sure that we're using the latest IT technology to make sure that it's going to be blindingly fast. And as I say, integrations, depends on who you are, how big your organization is, but you will have many integrations to things like LIMS systems and registration systems and inventory systems that need to be plumbed in and work seamlessly without being too cumbersome. So this is what our web client looks like. And I know you guys are not going to be satisfied with just a screenshot, so I have a little video. So here I am in E-WorkBook, and I'm just creating a new experiment. So I'm going to give it a title. And I create a new item, and here I can click on a button and add items to the page. And we've got two chemistry items. The first one is just for molecules, and the second one is for the stoichiometry. So as I click this, effectively we go full frame. The user can then click on Edit, and this is where we've embedded Marvin.js within the interface. And from here, the user can either draw or open a file to be able to bring in a molecule or a reaction. And then I return to the stoichiometry table. And you can see automatically we've taken those structures, the positions in the reaction scheme, calculated names, molecular formulas, molecular masses. And from here is when we can actually then click on these little buttons or these little icons to then expand the view and be able to enter the quantities, the number of moles, the number of equivalents that we're actually using. And equally as well here, you can see I'm actually adding a liquid reagent to calculate the volumes. And lastly, I'll just go through and create the add in the expected, the actual versus theoretical masses, and my yields are automatically calculated. And I can come into the procedure window here, and this is where I can start to type some text. And you can see here on the right-hand side, we have this components window, which has automatically concatenated fields from the stoichiometry table and brought them in. So we can just click on the add button, add in those, and that facilitates the data write-up. And if you went back to the stoichiometry table, made any changes in terms of your masses, then the procedure obviously will automatically update as well. And then there's some simple formatting controls we'll put in there. And as I then return back into the system, I will then close the stoichiometry frame and return to E-WorkBook. What this gives me is a preview here, which I can then print out and I can take into the lab and put next to my balance and then actually start my weighing out of my experiments. So, when's it going to be ready? Actually, pretty much a month from today, we're going to be releasing version 10.1.2. I should actually point out the video that you just saw, although I recorded about 10 days ago and it went live on YouTube, I think on Friday, it's already old, it's already outdated. We've got new functionality in there already, which is really cool. So we're working on registration and inventory at the moment and just finishing that up, and that will be ready for June. And going forward from there, we'll have another release in September. So we're going to be implementing a little bit more enhancements around search. We'll be putting stoichiometry into the E-WorkBook Connect product, which is the one I discussed in the beginning about CRO collaborations, and also looking at health and safety as well. And then going forward into December, adding more capabilities around auditing, enhancing our integrations, maybe adding things like drawing style preferences, multi-step reaction supports, and also talking about the interface to the analytical system. So I think when I was putting these slides together, I came across this from Professor Fuller. Everybody be certainly, Buckminster fullerene is a very popular molecule. Everybody knows about it. And he said, when I'm working on a problem, I only think about how to solve the problem, But when I've finished, if the solution isn't beautiful, then I know it's wrong. And I think that's a really interesting design ethos to take forward, and it's something that I'm going to take to heart as we go forward in the next couple of months to produce a product that we're going to take to market. So it would be very poor of me to not acknowledge the huge amount of people that have contributed so much time and effort and conversations, and I'm not going to do Oscar nomination sort of thank you, but just really thank you to all the people, not only at IDBS, but also at ChemAxon and also the Chemistry Forum attendees. And thank you for your attention.